things that catch you off guard can often lead to a relapse. So, for example, with these elections that are happening right now, there's usually on every election some kind of anticipation anxiety. You're assuming that, or hoping at least, that some candidate is going to win. Now, if you go to bed early or you wait towards the end of the vote, you might become overwhelmed or shocked at the fact that this candidate won when you thought the other one would win. And so that overwhelm can affect you negatively. The same can be said for any real experience in life, because let's face it, in life, things just happen and we are either in the direct path of it or close enough to it to experience it, or we don't know it is at all. It's kind of like the tree that fell in the woods. Does it make a noise when it falls if there's no one around? So that's a little analogy to, I guess, life happening. So if you're going through life and you're on a job and you're having a good day, and then a coworker all of a sudden completely comes unglued on you, it might be your boss, and just starts berating you for your work performance, that can come as a shock. Your system can go into fight, flight, or freeze. And if it goes into flight or freeze, you might find yourself later on struggling with the fact that you didn't self-advocate, struggling that you didn't set a boundary or at least communicate in a different way. And so that in itself can be all of a sudden a very overwhelming experience for one to go through. And that unseen aspect to it can really start to stack in your life. You could have had a bad day at work, and then you're heading home and someone cuts you off. And now all of a sudden this already somewhat agitated state you have gets spiraled out. You might flip them off and then they jam on their brakes, and now you almost had a rear end collision. And it can kind of go from there to even your home life. You come home, you're agitated. You know, your girlfriend or your wife had a bad day, or your husband or your boyfriend had a bad day, and now it seems like you even came home to just this negative experience. And it's a bit inconvenient to you, and there might be some kind of tension that unfolds from there. You might be sharper with the kids than you'd like to be. You might, lash out at your partner because, you're struggling really with the fact that you didn't self-advocate at work. So now you're at least dishing it out to somebody that you feel comfortable enough to talk to in the ways that you wish you maybe talked to those on the job. And so if you've noticed, life can really start stacking. Things that you didn't see coming can be quite overwhelming to go through and experience. And how we feel from that really can have a massive impact on our life. We are either going to improve, adapt, and change our approach in life to become a more well-rounded individual, or we might find ourselves escaping from that very experience. We light that joint, roll it up as quick as we can just to get it in our system. We might get that grinder and start really grinding away at it so that we can quickly get into that when we get home, to help us just cope or escape the fact that we are not happy with our life. This even goes into other areas, is, the weekend drinker, somebody that knows they have to be sober for their job, but boy, when it's the weekend, I am now going to start drinking just to help myself feel better about the fact that I hate my life Monday through Friday. It's actually one of the reasons that some of the days that are most called off are Mondays and Fridays. So that's just a bit of an insight to, if you're already struggling with your internal experience and also struggling to relay that out into your external environment, whether that's setting boundaries, communicating more clearly, saying no more often, your life can start stacking in ways that is very difficult to go through. It's very difficult to experience. And because of that, a lot of people turn to marijuana, because it's a real quick off switch. They can just escape the fact that they're not happy in their life. Now, you're going to marijuana so that you can feel better on some level. You're getting something from the marijuana experience, whether it's helping you reduce the anxiety you experience, because let's face it, you're not a really calm person, or else you wouldn't need that marijuana. Or you may, smoke marijuana to help you be more creative because you lack to tap into that more creative side of yourself. You might turn to marijuana because you struggle with anger. It just helps you relax and chill out because you really just want to be a more relaxed and chilled out version of yourself. And so what you don't have for yourself, you can't really give to others. You can't really show on the outside for a very long period of time. It's something that is foreign to your system. And so by addressing those issues that are kind of unseen, they're under the surface of your awareness, because let's face it, if you knew what your problem was, you would have fixed it already. That's why you've gone to weed, because that's the best next solution to just resolving this anxiety, to resolving this anger, to being a more chilled, relaxed, confident version of yourself that's a now untapped potential. You're out there really going after your dreams and goals. It's a lot easier for me to tell you that that's how you could be or should be, but wouldn't you like to be that? And what happens if you continue to go down this path to where you just escape your life? Because eventually you're going to get older, you're going to start realizing that you didn't really live life on the edge. You didn't go for the things you wanted, and that even comes with different emotions. It can be regret, it can be envy of other people, jealousy of other people that have more than you. And so by dealing with the root cause, by getting to this stuff that's underneath your conscious awareness, because again, if you knew your problem, you would have taken care of it, because nobody wants depression. Nobody wants anxiety or any other negative emotional experience. Well, if you get to that and you just resolve it, you no longer struggle with it. And now you're free to move through your life without the dependency of marijuana giving you some kind of relief, versus you just have that state within yourself. And now that may be difficult for you to hear because you maybe don't experience that for yourself, so it seems impossible. But if you're not that yourself, you can't really say it doesn't exist. It's like saying, oh, you know what? Calm people don't exist. I'm one of those people. You'll never find me replying to a negative comment because I don't care. And so if you want to be a more relaxed, confident version of yourself, reach out and I'll be more than glad to give you a hand with that. So take care of yourself.